everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I guess this is the first tutorial that I'm doing. I feel like this is more of a real tutorial because my last tutorial was the glam bag and using everything in my glam bag for a look. Not something I entirely came up on my own or struck me with much creativity. But I always think it's important, you know, when you get a glam bag that you could actually use the products. So today I did this gold smoky eye with like such a dramatic wing liner with dramatic lips, and then I have a pop of color at the bottom, not like just like color, kind of like a little subtle color that's a little bit different. The eyes definitely remind me of a tiger, and maybe I was a little bit more inspired by the shirt I was wearing. Excuse if you hear any dogs barking in the background. I have two of them, so you know, they like to play. But today's video is featuring the Jaclyn palette. This is the palette of the craze, of the summer craze, yeah. Everybody going mental for it. And when the palette first came out, I was like, oh, I remember when she came out with her first palette, how frustrating it was to get a palette. And then, you know, the colors, and I ended up buying the colors through individual eyeshadows rather than waiting for the palette itself. And it was really nice. But I guess once I got a hold of the eyeshadows, I was already so frustrated that I wasn't like so hyped about it. With this, I started getting hyped right before it came back out for the second round to buy it, and so anyway, I've been able to enjoy it, and I think it's such a pretty palette. And you know, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been doing, you probably don't follow me on Instagram, nobody follows me on YouTube who's gonna follow me on Instagram. But if you ever come across my Instagram channel, I was doing like a 7-day challenge that I took upon myself to do 7 different looks with the palette to just show how versatile it is. And this is going to be one of the looks that are going to be posted on my Instagram, and it's super versatile. I am not even done with the different looks that I, in my head, like imagined and created. So that shows that you can definitely do more than seven looks. You can do so much with the palette. I think it's such a great pigmented palette. And I would 100%, if you don't have the palette, for you to go out and get it. I think it's coming back sometime in August. You can subscribe to Morphe, and supposedly they'll send you an email. I always find with companies, when you do that, they still never send you an email. But if you also follow Morphe on Instagram, they'll probably post a post when it'll be released. Anyway, this is definitely a palette, the palette of the summer, even maybe the year. I think it's such a great palette, and I think that everyone should go out and buy it. Again, these are my own words. Obviously, I'm such a small YouTube channel and very new, so it's not like anybody's paying me to say anything. So all opinions are my own, and I didn't receive it for free. I bought it with my own hard-working money, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoy this look. I hope that it's smoky enough for you, it's gold enough, it gives you, of course you don't have to use this lip. I chose this lip. I really like bold lip colors. I think it brings out more of my lips and draws attention to my lips, because I personally think I have really nice natural lips. Not to toot my home horn. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoy this. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you want to see more videos, comment. Just kind of spread encouragement and positivity, because encouragement's always good, because it helps me get motivated to actually do these videos and not feel like, oh, what's the point, no one's watching. So hopefully, is anybody watching? Hopefully someone's watching. And if you like this, keep on watching if there's anyone there. Anyway guys, thanks for visiting. Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees. Hey everyone. everyone, sorry I talked so much. So we're just going to get started first with tape and taping that to create a more defined cut crease. And we're just going to go in with the main star, the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm first going to start off with a transition shade, M.F.E.O, I believe it's called, with a big fluffy blending brush from Sigma, and then just going back and forth, with necessarily no precision. You can be a little sloppy with this, and just gonna fast forward through certain parts because there's a lot of blending and this video shouldn't be longer than what it needs to be. I am going to go in with the first shade, Buns, and I'm putting that more in the upper crease just to create a little bit more definition. We're just gonna do different colors just to start, and then always going back with the big fluffy blending brush to blend everything. And then next I am going to be using Mocha, and I am using a more defined crease brush here, just focusing more on the crease, going back and forth again, and then in circular motion, of course, going back in with the original big fluffy blending brush to blend all those colors in. Then we're going to use Mocha and even more define the crease and keeping this more within the crease. And next it will be Chip. So with Chip, we're going to put that in the crease. It is a darker color. We're going to put that more in the crease and on the outer corner to create a little bit more definition for the look. This is what's really going to give the smokiness, and of course always going back with that big blending fluffy brush, and of course with other brushes. And then we're going to use Abyss, which is a black color. We're going to focus this strictly on the outer corner, and then just kind of pack the color on there so it's black, and then go in with Chip to help blend the black out, because black can be so harsh sometimes. So just kind of blending it. And to start the cut crease, I'm going to use the M.A.C Prolong Concealer on a concealer brush, and then carve out kind of like in this circle, I don't know, like half, it's like a half cut crease because we're not doing the whole thing. So we're only doing more towards the inner corner of the eye and mid-eye, but leaving the outer crease alone. And we're gonna go in with the gold finally. It's called Queen. And just continually go back and forth with packing the color on and then defining it with the concealer. Such a beautiful color, very pigmented. All the shimmer shadows on this palette is very pigmented. So when we do that, we tend to lose a little bit of our smokiness. So I'm again going back in with Chip and then just blending both the very dark brown and gold together, so it's not so harsh. I know cut crease can be a little harsh, but we're only just very defining the inner and outer corner, but we want those two colors to blend. So I'm going in with this very, very fine liner brush to do my eyeliner. I'm just taking it and dipping into the liquid eyeliner, and excuse me if I'm getting very close to the mirror, it's just very hard for me to see. And I'm using the New York color, so N.Y.C liquid liner. It is discontinued, and the brush that comes with the liner is really great anyway, but I just bought this fine liner and it's actually really helped with keeping the wing, especially the tip, sharp to the point where it can cut someone. I'm not sure if it can cut someone, maybe I'm exaggerating. It's just very hard to fill in with this brush, which takes me very long to do so, but it's really great for outlining because it's so small, it's very precise, it doesn't pick up a lot of product, so if you make a little mistake it'll be barely noticeable. So eyelashes, I'm not going to do that on camera considering that it takes me so long. I use Red Cherry 46, and then I'm going with the N.Y.C Pore Filler and then the N.Y.C First Base Spray to prime my face and just acting a fool. I'm using mostly Morphe products. I'm using the FW, which is basically their foundation palette, which is really great. It blends really nice and it gives this airbrush feel to the skin. So it's really nice. And sorry for the ums. So I'm just going that with a flat foundation brush and just kind of putting that all over the face without worrying on having to blend it, because we're just gonna blend it with a beauty blender. And then that's what's really gonna create the airbrush effect with the foundation palette. And just, you know, the beauty blender is supposed to be wet, and I'm taking a lighter shade. I'm going to use this whole palette to kind of like, I guess, cream, highlight, and contour. So putting that in the under eye area, of course, it always should be a triangle shape. And then I'm going to hit other parts of my face, including, well, sorry, I'm still packing it on, but I'm going to hit other parts of my face, including the nose, the chin. I'm creating Wi-Fi signals, and then again, acting a fool. I promise I have good Wi-Fi in my apartment. And then, of course, going back and blending that with a beauty blender, which is going to take some time, so we're just going to speed things up a bit. Again, with the FW palette from Morphe, we're going with the darker shade to cream contour. So we're hitting like where the cheekbone is, and then my nose. I really hate my nose, so I always tend to contour my nose a lot. And then just near the cheeks, and then of course using the beauty blender as always to blend everything out. And I'm more concerned with my nose. Again, I lost some of that highlight to bring out features of my nose that I like and then hide that I don't, so I packed a little bit more on that. So that another Morphe palette, yay. I am using their contour and highlight palette, which is actually really nice. And I'm using the beauty blender to pick up the more yellow shade and hitting everything where I creamed highlight, and then using a kind of like a small angled face brush to define the contours. And yeah, looking like a fish. Okay, I see you, girl. Looking like a fish. So continuing on, I'm just going to define the contour more, and picking up stuff that I dropped, and then using again a Morphe palette, the blush palette, which is their first one that was released, not the Naturally Glow. I forgot which one exactly this one's called. And then hitting that with an e.l.f. angle brush, but this angle brush is actually a little fluffier, and it's known as their blush brush. And then blending that all out with a big fluffy brush. This brush is from Claire's. And I felt like I lost some of my contour of my nose, so I'm just going back in, defining it, and then blending. Going with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. I like to mix a combination of different colors for this glow kit. I don't like to stick to just one. First I'm using that color, and then I eventually go with Amber Glow. And then I'm just packing this on. This palette has a lot of like glitter pigment to it, so a lot of glitter on it, which gives it that nice shine. But if you have large pores like myself, the large pores are definitely noticeable, but it gives it such a beautiful glow that I love it so much. I'm going in with Hunts, I believe it's called, and putting that on the lower lash line to give it that pop of color. It's an orangey color, so kind of, it's not too poppy, but it gives it a little subtle pop, which is really nice. And then going in with Jask, because I felt like the Hunts was a little too orangey for me, so Jask is more like a burgundy color, so just mixing those two colors, again, to give a subtle pop. And using the mascara, this is L'Oreal's Voluminous Carbon Black, one of my favorite mascaras of all time. And then just hitting the lower lash line with it. And now with lipstick, I am using the NYX liquid cream matted lipstick in Oh Put It On Me. So this definitely has very dark purple undertones. I think again it gives it a nice pop to the look rather than just using a nude shade. And like I originally said, I'm in love with bold colors. It brings out more of my lips. It draws attention to them, and that's exactly what I like. And I also love pairing this lip with a smoky eye that's not too smoky, but somewhat smoky. So doing a gold smoky is nice with this. And we're all done with the look. I'm sorry I talked so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and please give it a thumbs up. Thanks.